Welcome to the Finding HAViK podcast. You have Jake and Dom here, and today we're talking to Hank Bingham, who is a native to Nevada. We met him ironically through a Chucker Chaser Foundation dinner where he was in line getting food. We got to talking with him. He ended up eating some sausage with our hatchet. It was hilarious. We got a video, and we've just kind of kept in contact with him. He's a big hunting and fishing individual and spends a lot of time outdoors, and so it's kind of just close to our hearts here at HAViK.
Yep, and he's also a physician's assistant out in rural Nevada in Fernley, and so we get to talk a lot about medicine and how he got into that and kind of how he has those like hard conversations with people but can still go home at night and leave it at work.
Overcoming anxiety, especially with those tougher conversations, is a big part of this one. He's also a musician, and we were fortunate to have him play an exclusive song at the very end of the podcast. You definitely got to listen to.
You got to earn it, though.
You got to earn it. Listen to the whole podcast, and then at the very end, check out the song. Very, very talented individual. It was a great conversation. We had a lot of fun. We definitely went off on a couple tangents, but overall,
that's okay. If
really
you like
great
hot dogs, you'll like the tangent.
That's it. All right. Hope you enjoy.
They lost the tools, they lost the way. Now they're calling for help every damn day. While some still sharpen steel and mine, step out of the flock. This is Finding HAViK.
Do you have this unit?
No, I don't. I've got, what is it, 04,
1 and 2 or 3 through 6?
6.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see. Kind of up north.
I know someone who knows that area.
Really?
You.
Okay. Really?
Mel was a game warden, so she knows Nevada really, really well.
Zach told me this.
Yeah, it used to be.
Used to be. Former
Sorry,
game warden.
did I say is a game warden?
Former game
You
warden.
said was, I think. But
Was.
I just want to make sure it was clear.
She's a has-been.
Has-been? Yes.
Game warden?
That's okay.
I'm not allowed to claim it.
That's all right.
I don't want like the state to sue me for something weird, you know? I just want to make sure it's very clear. It's been a long time, but I can give you some tips.
I would love to hear them.
And I'll go. If you
Really?
want.
Sherpa?
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah.
Sure. Come on.
Yeah. I'll go scout.
Okay.
Do some scout.
Okay. You're hired.
Okay.
So you have muzzleloader. You got 2 tags.
I got 2 tags. I got muzzleloader, antelope. That's August 15th to the 21st. It's only a week. It's less than a week.
Yeah, that's
So
tough.
it's quick. So, but I was able to get time off for that, which is sweet. And then my mule deer is end of September through October, ending October 4th.
Where's that
Muzzleloader as
one?
well.
Muzzleloader as well.
Yeah.
That one's 031, way north. So in
Yeah,
between
I worked
Denio
all
and
of that.
McDermott.
I also worked that. Yes.
You did? Really?
I lived in 031. I lived in Nevada.
Oh, really? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, you should.
If you get
should
anything from
come
this
on my
podcast,
hunt.
you're just...
Yeah, I was gonna say this has been a fruitful.
He's like, all right, I'm good. I'll see you later.
Decision. Yeah, it's
Worth
like,
the
all right,
drive.
guys. You guys can leave. We're gonna talk about hunting.
That's
funny.
awesome.
That's great. How long were you a game warden?
6 years.
6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, and I had typically there's 2 wardens based out of Winnemucca, but for a lot of my time there was just me. So it's all of 3 except for the Sheldon when I worked there.
Right.
So all of 3 except for 033 and then all of 4 and 051. So I had about 17,000 square miles
That's
to patrol.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's so much. That's so much area.
That's just. Is it too much?
Yeah. So, for example, yes and no, depending on the time of year. But for example, one time during deer season, within the span of an hour, I was out towards like 032, but still on the highway, like still on heading towards Denio.
Yeah.
I got a call on the summit side, right, of of 034. So the summit side, off of like Summit Lake,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's still from there. You're not that far as the crow flies, but you have to get up and
you gotta
around.
go
So you're a
up and
solid
around.
like hour and a half. I had a call there, and then I had a call in Paradise in 051, and then I had a call down in Unionville within the span of an hour.
Oh my
And I'm
God.
sitting
All
up
the way in
on
Unionville?
140. Yeah.
Screwed. Yeah.
Well, you just prioritize them
Sure,
based
sure.
on the call,
Yeah, yeah.
unfortunately,
That's
right?
fair. Yeah.
So yeah, so that makes it really tough because it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You're like, cool.
Of course. Yeah.
So you call all of them back and
Crazy.
figure out where you're going to go first.
What's your schedule? Are you just on consistently for?
So they expect you to work most weekends because that's, of course, when people are
that's
out. Obviously, you're going to be working openers, busy weekends, that sort of thing. But for the most part, you kind of set your own schedule, but they expect you to do it in a smart way. So, of course, you're going to work. So say, for example, 031 has a sage grouse, a 2-day sage grouse season, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Everyone's limited out. It's 2 birds. Everyone's limited out by 9 a.m. So you better be working that sage grouse season. You better be out there at 5 a.m. to check everybody.
To check everyone, yeah.
Because they're gone. They're back at camp drinking
makes
beer by 10.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
So things like that.
Okay.
Back at camp, drinking beer, hiding the birds so they can go back out and get back up the birds.
Yeah, I mean, they're not the smartest of birds, but
Dude, they are the dumbest birds.
yeah.
there is a reason they almost were on the endangered species list, and the natives used to kill them with rocks. They're
Oh,
unfortunately.
I believe it.
For sure.
I feel like I could have grabbed a couple at this point and just strangled them.
Yeah, 100%.
But one of the most successful state-run wildlife stories, right? Where they knew they were close to getting on the federal
Now they're,
list,
like,
and
everywhere.
states came together and said, "This is how we're going to protect them."
Yeah, it's awesome.
I know. I guess it was 2 years ago when I was hunting up in Jarbidge. It was my problem on all of my stalks was that there were so many sage grouse that I'd be like trying to stalk in on a deer and I'd blow a sage grouse out of the sagebrush, and then the deer's like up, and I'm like,
You're like, "Come on, man."
normally it's the does, right? The does piss you off, but for me on that one it was the sage grouse. Yeah.
Anyway,
I'd see one just like standing there, and it's like between me and the deer, and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
We should bring it back to our actual guest.
Yeah.
No, this is a great.
How did you get into hunting? What started it?
Family for sure. So when I was a kid, my grandparents owned Lower Twin Lakes Resort in Bridgeport, California, outside of Bridgeport,
cool.
California.
I love
So
it. That's one of my favorite rope swings. On
yeah,
the planet.
yeah, you know those?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, man, yeah, and it's the iciest water.
It's great.
Around. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, so that's home. I mean, I would go. For the first 3 years of my life, I lived in Cabin 7 on the resort. Not that I remember that.
Yeah.
But it's a very special place for me. My name's Hank, and my grandfather died. Like my biological grandfather died in an avalanche. His name was Hank at that resort, and
He wasn't like the water master, was he?
he was not. He owned.
Okay, because do you know that story?
I don't know that
I
story.
think that might be Virginia Lakes and not Twin
Virginia
Lakes.
Lakes. It might be.
There was like a water master up there. Sorry. Not important.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Not important.
No, you're good. We'll wrap around.
Sure.
I'm curious too. But he was helping somebody during an avalanche or during a snowstorm, and an avalanche took out him and his buddy, and they're both in the lake somewhere. So
Wow.
that's a very special place to me and my family, and then that's where my outdoors adventure started. Right?
Well, what a place.
I know.
You
seriously.
didn't have much of a choice.
And
down
my,
there.
my grandpa, well, so my grandfather and my dad are the two biggest ones. So as far as hunting goes, my grandfather would, so my mom found out she was pregnant with me, and he went out and bought a Model 42 410 pump for me.
Yeah.
And I have that gun still, which is real super special. So we would go into the summer, and he would just say, Hank, you want to go shooting today? Yeah, sure.
The answer's always yes.
We would just go
Yeah.
shoot clays or shoot rifles, and we had 223s, 243s, and then he had a deal with the Honeywells, and then those ranches right outside of if you're going up into Twin Lakes, and he could shoot any of the coyotes. So we would be driving, and I remember it in his white F-350, and he'd go, "Ooh, there's a dog," and he'd pull over, and this is the middle of summer, like there's campers going by and everything. And he'd grab the 223 from the back, and he'd go, "Okay, put it on my window." And I'd sit in the passenger seat, rest it on. He's like, "Okay, breathe. He's running. Just lead him right on his head, right on his whack." Nice, got it. We'd get back on the road, and there's all these campers still going by, and
They're just
they're
Yeah,
like, "Oh my
100%.
God, yeah. What are you doing?" So that's where it really, as far as hunting goes, that's really where it started. And we would go jump Bridgeport Reservoir for mallards and ducks, and then we would go hunt Fallon for dove. We would go chucker hunting at Lida. It was just adventures, right? And then my dad was the fisherman. He he grew up in Yuba City and would fish the American River and everything. And then he met my mother, and he came, he was at the resort for a while, and then we settled down in Carson City. So then we would go up to, my childhood was Hobart, because you could just, we would, he had this old Nissan stick shift, and I would sit in the middle, and he would tell me when to shift, and I would shift for him. We'd go up to Hobart, hike in, and then we would also do Marlette, and we would mountain bike into Marlette with all our gear and our float tubes. Yeah. And then he taught me how to fly fish. So, and then it's just been adventures ever since.
Yeah. One of my fondest memories of childhood is jumping ducks out of creeks and stuff.
Yeah.
It's the funnest
so much fun.
thing.
And it's you got the stock, you got the anticipation, and then you see it happen, and it just puts you into that moment. Yeah. And then you get the bird or you don't get the bird.
Yeah. But it's true. And we didn't have dogs a lot when we were earliest, and then you're trying to figure out how to get to the other side of the creek.
Yeah. How do I get this out?
I remember when I was with my grandpa, I had a deer tag. I think it was over by the Sheldon. I think it was the unit just west of it. But we were hunting dead of winter. It was freezing cold. And we drove past this pond. He's like, oh, there's 2 mallards on there. It's frozen. He's like, we should go get those. So we get out. Pop up, boom, boom, right in the middle of the lake. He's like, I think,
whoops.
I think it's frozen enough.
Oh, yeah. And he goes, I didn't think about that. And I was like, uh-oh. And he had a 2x4, and we tied a rope to it, and we just started fishing for ducks, and we retrieved both of them.
That's amazing.
And it's that stuff. That's the fun stuff while you're out and about trying to get yourself out of sticky situations. So
yeah, we've talked about it a couple times on the podcast before, but like you're also in these situations where you're uncomfortable, like everything's frozen, right? You're cold too, right?
Yeah.
And you're trying to get these ducks out the lake.
For sure, yeah.
But you remember it, you remember it like fondly.
But you don't remember the cold.
I remember the cold, but I remember it like it was a good thing.
Yeah.
I remember it like fondness. Yeah.
One time we did that, and it was over a pond, and shot a duck, landed in the middle of the pond, and we're really stressed about it, right? So we're like tied up and scooting out.
Yeah, nice.
And then you realize the pond is only this deep, so even if you went through, it wouldn't have been a big deal anyways. It's like less than waist deep,
Yeah,
but we're taking all these precautions to try to get this bird, and then you realize it didn't matter at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss duck hunting. I haven't been back in it since I was a kid.
Really?
It's just tough because what is it? It's pretty much Fallon here.
Yeah. Well,
you got some spots?
Yeah.
Yes,
I was just gonna say something, and I was like, I can't.
On the Mel here.
We
Nope.
we can
I
talk
can't
about
share
that.
it.
We'll talk about after the podcast.
Devin will be mad.
Oh,
Yeah, you should ask him.
all right. I'll ask Devin. Yeah, it's
You should come duck hunting with us.
I'll definitely I'll take you up on that.
Yeah, no, I'm serious.
100%.
Yeah, we've got extra blinds, and we've got enough decoys to, I don't know, fill the Great Lakes. We got so many decoys. So we'll get you.
Don't offer something you don't want to have, because I'll definitely take you up on it.
We'll drag you through.
Yeah, I've just gone super deep into chukar hunting now because it's just so easy access.
I understand it completely. I love it.
Yeah, and I like the walking, the hiking, getting out on the hillsides.
I do. Mm-hmm.
I was trying to talk. Is there a word for it of wanting to know what's on the next side of the hill?
I think there's probably like a Japanese word for it, right? Because you always see like.
Can you look that up?
There's always like a Japanese word for a really long explanation or like a feeling.
Where you want like that yearning of being like,
what's on the other side?
You get to the top of this hill and you're like, oh, I wonder what's on the other side of that.
Yeah, I have that too. Yeah. I definitely have.
And
there has to be.
That's the best part of chukar hunting, in my opinion, because you just walk aimlessly around.
You just want to see it.
Yeah.
I know.
And then you kind of go, "What's that?"
Yeah. You go, "Oh, what's this?"
Yeah.
I didn't know that was there.
You find a mine shaft.
Yeah.
This is sweet.
Yeah, you find a good mine shaft.
Like,
so
this
good.
is crazy.
Yeah. It's that's like my favorite part of that hunting. So like I miss duck hunting for a lot of reasons, but like to me, like chukar hunting now, once I get past like the big game season and I go into chukar hunt season, it's like I stay in shape. I'm still
I
like
don't
seeing
sit
country.
well. I don't like so sitting in a blind. I can glass.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking for something, but like that's just kind of sitting and waiting. I have.
That's probably why I like jump shooting
really
ducks
hard
too, because you're walking, right?
a really hard time.
I'd love to have you out because
I'd love to come out.
Me and Zach, you can come too. You can come too.
Thanks.
I'm okay.
She won't though.
Oh, come on, Dom. There's some spots in Fallon that you have to hike to. I think our record's 2 miles in, 2 miles out.
Nice.
It's
I'm all about it.
ridiculous. Yeah, and you're just sweat. I don't know if you've ever seen Jackass, but Preston has the sweatsuit.
Yeah.
That's what you feel like in the waders.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I have
wild.
waders. I got all that stuff. I just don't. I just never really had a place.
It's a debacle. I mean,
Yeah.
like it's a production.
That's what
we've got boats. We don't have any dogs, so I guess that's on the list.
What are you guys doing about retrieving the birds? Then are you guys?
Oh, we're
wading out
We're
and-
just doing it. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
just waiting, and then
Who's-
I have a dog that
Rochambeau and who's
We
the
could
dog?
talk into
yes,
retrieve
yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We got a buddy that'll jump out right away. We're like, stop! No! Wait! They're still circling. Sit down.
You got to train that dog
Give him a
better.
bet. We're trying. Trying. We always treat him with Coors Light, but
That might be your problem.
yeah,
man.
maybe that is our problem.
Giving him too many treats too early, and then he's trying to jump out of the boat.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have a dog that you hunt chucker with?
No, my brother has 2 German short hairs.
Oh, nice.
So when I link up with my brother, we will hunt with his dogs.
Oh, nice.
And his dogs are good, like they're really good dogs. But for the most part, I'll drag Mel up, or I've drug up a couple of
you
people.
calling me a dog?
No,
I'm just kidding.
normally
Mel's
I'm
my
not.
dog.
I point
No,
real
I guess
good.
It's normally like random people that don't have also dogs, and we're just walking around aimlessly taking our
Right,
shotguns
right.
for a
Yeah.
walk.
Of course.
I have a lab, and she's gone chucker hunting. She neither helps nor hinders, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
she's
it's just a
perfectly
net-
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's just hanging.
She's just
Yeah.
kind of like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you shoot. She gets really excited, but
Yeah.
then she's kind of like, "Okay, now
What
what?"
do we do
And
now? Yeah.
I think I trained her, she would have had no issue because she uses her nose a ton. She would have been great, but we just didn't. So
Yeah.
but I mean, she doesn't get in the way. She probably would if she saw like duck fall. I think she would go get it. You know, she
Sure.
That
hasn't been
retriever-
fully
just,
trained,
that
but she's
retriever
been around
mentality.
guns, and guns aren't
She knows.
guns aren't a problem. Bumped
Yeah.
it, sorry. Guns aren't a problem, but she just never got like fully trained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's tough. So my brother's got both of his dogs are trained. So when we do link up, and he's been seasonal for the last 7 years on his job, and so he's kind of done around Thanksgiving, and so we normally chucker hunt a decent amount. But I'll also just like on a random, especially now being self-employed, on like a Tuesday, I'll just run up there
and
and
go shoot. Well, shit, you can just
I do. I go straight for the house.
You
here.
lucky son of a gun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So we talked a little bit about how you grew up, which,
Hold on really fast.
yeah, did I mess something up?
No.
I'm causing
Oh,
a
Oh,
problem.
she's got.
I'm a
I think she's got
disaster.
the saying.
I'm going to butcher this word, but it's a German word. Fernway means like the strong urge to travel distant places to like unseen terrain for like topographical curiosity.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean, that's
Fernway.
How's it spelled?
Fernway.
Like fern and then WEH.
Fernway.
German? Do you speak German?
No, I don't.
You should have said yes.
Yeah, dang it.
Own
I should have just leaned into it. Dang it.
Yeah, okay.
Fernway. You could name a knife.
That could be wrong. That is like Google thinking that's what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what knife. You could just specifically market it to chucker hunters.
Yeah.
Any,
I like that.
Yeah.
anything with a topo.
I do want to make like
engraving.
a shorter blade one for like birds and stuff, right? Where it's,
Actually, yeah. Just
you know, it's easier just to breast them out.
yeah,
and stuff.
100%. Because I just clean chucker. You do the rib,
Yeah.
and then you just throw it in. Well, you have to make sure that you keep a wing on. Right?
For chucker?
Yeah.
Unless they changed it. That wasn't a
Okay.
law when I was
I
working.
didn't think so either. I mean, I know
Oregon had that law. So I
Really?
worked a lot of the Nevada-Oregon border. And you get people like, well, I got these in Oregon and I got these in
yeah,
Nevada,
sure,
you know?
yeah,
And you're like,
yeah.
well, Oregon requires you to keep a wing on, and Nevada for chucker. For
Okay.
sage grouse, they did. Nevada requires
Okay.
it for
Yes, yeah,
grouse
there's
and
a
and
certain-
I believe ducks.
Yes. Okay.
But
Yeah,
for
yeah.
chucker, no. But Oregon did, and so that's how like you would get them. That's how you would
Yeah,
go.
I don't
"Hmm,
normally
interesting."
do much with my birds until I get home.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
normally
I
not
know.
too far away.
But
Yeah.
even, I mean, when you do get home, just to have something that's designed specifically to rest them out,
yeah, Fernway,
I would purchase
the Fernway knife.
the Fernway.
Don't quote me on that. I don't know if it's right.
Fernway.
I mean,
That
we're
was
gonna
Google.
quote you.
Brought
What's
to
the
you by
pronunciation?
Dawn.
Did you do the pronunciation? Did you click
Yeah, what is
the
the
like,
pronunciation?
Oh yeah,
on
what
it?
does Google say?
No, it didn't have
Yeah.
the pronunciation thing. Sorry,
But
I failed.
before we go back to you, Hank, I just want to say that I want you to go fix fence and drink beer every single day.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is
First thing
great.
ever.
This is
This
great.
is-
I would
this
have
is the
drank beer and
most-
fixed the
This
fence.
This is
is
the
my
most
favorite
chatty Mel's ever been.
This is awesome.
I
Mel's
love
been
it.
out fixing fence and
Well,
drinking
that's
beer
what. So
today.
like the definition of
What
cattle
kinda-
drive workday is like put up some panels, maybe fix some fence, and just drink beer.
And that's what you've been doing today. And then
what
I
I've
hear
been
you
doing.
are.
That's awesome. That's a great sound.
I'm just gonna say, like, I just
Sorry.
this is a requirement. Somehow on like our normal Tuesday nights, you're gonna end up having to go fix fence on like at like 3 o'clock and drink some beer.
I think part of it too is it's so we spent some time up at Winnemucca Ranch, and it's one of my favorite places. And
Yeah.
so
It's
so
pretty back.
It's
Have
also
you been
it's
back
really
in there?
pretty.
I've
Like
not,
it makes me happy.
Across the valley here.
You know,
Across the valley? Across the valley west? or-
West
out Winnemucca Ranch Road,
Oh, okay. I have not
towards
been there.
Moon Rocks.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Or
past
it.
past Moon
Moon
Rocks.
Yeah.
Rocks.
Really?
Yeah.
You're 15 minutes, 10 minutes
check
from
it out
now.
at some point.
That's you think the RAV4 could do it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
RAV4
okay.
went out there
you can
to
take a
do the
car.
shooting video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've taken my little
Maybe
Hyundai
I'll go.
Elantra.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If the
Although
Hyundai can
I am,
make it.
you know, I beat that thing up. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mine's kind of beat up too. But okay.
Yeah, no, people are taking like toy haulers and stuff out there.
Okay.
So yeah, you can go
Yeah,
out
I'll
there.
have to check it out.
You should
I've
check it
heard
out.
of Moon Rocks.
there are
and-
some trucker around some places out there.
Oh,
A little bit.
really?
They can be tough to find though. But you
Super
know,
hard to find.
trucker. They're a trucker, and those mountains are tall.
Up.
They're steep.
There's step.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
So I do want to talk about your career. So I guess just talk about a little bit of your education, what you do on a day-to-day basis as well.
So I'm a family practice physician assistant in Fernley, and my education was I went to Oregon Tech and I got my bachelor's of science in biology health science. So that's pre-med basically, and then I got a minor in chemistry. And throughout all of that, so the whole reason I went into biology was I was a cross country runner. So I ran cross country and track in college and in high school. And actually I was originally going to do computer science. And then I went on the computer science tour and it was just, there was no windows. It was all computers. And then we toured we toured the
this.
health building and there was windows and people.
And you were walking around.
That's going to be better for me.
Yeah, you don't seem like a computer science
No,
guy.
no, definitely not. It was a fantastic decision. Nothing against computer science guys. We obviously need them. But I was just fascinated with the human body. It is just one of the most fragile and robust and strong entities on the planet. And I wanted to learn more about it. So I did the pre-med route. All the while, I was working as a nursing assistant, trying to get some hours, and I was playing in a band. So I'm a musician as well, and we thought we were really good back then, and we wanted to try and make it. So the plan was to do the band after I graduated and work as a nursing assistant, and then I'd have my degree to fall back on to go back to some sort of school, right? And so I graduated. Life happens, and my grandmother got very sick, so I decided to come home to be with her, and left the band. And then, oddly enough, when I came back home from college, that's when I really started hunting and fishing and going outside more. Like
Yeah.
this was, and then I realized, oh, this is a really big part of my life that I need to put way more energy into.
Yeah.
Right.
Cultivate it a little bit.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, cultivate it. And then, so I was still a nursing assistant, and then I went to. Nice.
Nice
Great.
word.
Nice.
Nailed it.
Word of the day. English word of the day. I got a job as an endoscopy technician at GI Consultants here in town, and I did that for 4 years, and that was through COVID. And when we were in COVID, there was this thing called the scope room, and you'd have to clean the endoscopes. So
Sure.
the scopes you do colonoscopies.
It's actually what my mom does.
Really?
Yeah, she was a circulating nurse.
Really? That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
she like
yeah.
ran that whole thing. I know a little bit about it.
Yeah,
It-
exactly. So,
It sounds like one of those strange jobs where you're like, oh yeah, I guess someone has to do this.
yeah, exactly. It's 100%.
And you don't
that.
process who has to do it
Let me
because
ask you this
typically you're the
question.
patient really worried
Were they
about.
wearing a mask while their like ass was up?
So yeah, I've seen more butts than I ever thought I would see in my
Yeah.
life.
But they were wearing a mask, right, during
You do
COVID?
have to, yes, you do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was as for everybody, it was a
Yeah.
strange time. But when you were in the scope room, you had to wear a papper, so you looked like Buzz Lightyear, and it was hot water. You're in your PPE, and I remember looking down at the scope, and there was sweat dripping off my nose, hitting the papper, and I said, okay, it's time to go back to school.
Yeah,
This
we're gonna
is-
do something
Yeah,
different.
we need to do something different. And so I applied to PA school. And so physician assistants are a clinician that can see patients, prescribe medications, order studies, interpret those studies. And the whole idea of physician assistant came from the accelerated physician curriculum from World War II. And after World War II, they had all these excess of corpsmen. And there was a gentleman from Duke University who said, okay, maybe we can use these guys to fill gaps in our healthcare system, particularly in rural areas. And so Duke University graduated the first physician assistant class. I think it was in the 50s. Don't quote me on that. I need to double check that. But so our profession's really new, right?
Yeah.
And so my whole thing, why did I go to PA school versus medical school? I just felt like I wanted to give back quick. And PA school has that 2-year accelerated curriculum, and it just fit what I wanted to do, and I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people don't realize that they're seeing the PA.
Yeah, exactly, and it's a common mistake, but you got the 80-year-old guy who's like, "Hey, Dr. Hank, thank you," and you're like, "Thanks,
Not a
Jerry."
doctor.
Yeah, I'm like, "No,
Close,
doctor."
but not
Yeah.
a doctor.
But in Nevada, legally, you have to wear
Yeah.
a badge that says
Yes.
physician assistant
Yeah.
on it. You have to introduce yourself as a physician assistant, which I do.
Yeah.
But it's you're not going to tell Jerry, the 80-year-old grandpa, that no, I'm a PA. You just roll with it and you say,
Yeah.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
Path
and
of least
go.
resistance.
Yeah, exactly.
And you said you're doing, is it general medicine, family
yeah,
medicine?
family practice. Yeah. So
You didn't want to go back to the GI consultants, or
No, I was burnt out on GI.
totally fair. I know a couple people who work. I think they work for GI consultants.
Yeah.
So
It's a
yeah.
relatively large group in town. And so kind of going back to, how I guess as I've developed as a human and my goals as somebody who's existing on this planet, I mentioned this in my answers to the questions, but I want to be competent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got lucky because I really wanted to do a general medicine of some sort. So like internal medicine or family med or emergency medicine. That was an awesome rotation. Because you see so much and you're kind of the jack of all trades.
Yeah.
You are the jack of all trades,
Yeah.
excuse me. And that's a really unique place to be in medicine, especially for a PA, and especially in a rural setting.
Yeah.
It is just, you just can't make things up which walks into clinic. And you just you just have to you have to use, and that's what I love about healthcare too, is that you have to use all of your life experiences to help this person that's sitting in front of you.
Yeah.
No matter where they come from, how old they are, what their preconceptions are about medicine, it is all encompassing, and that's really special, and I really like that.
And you probably learn every day. You're not seeing
There's-
similar
It's different,
cases over and over.
Yeah, 100%. And every day I leave work, I go, there's so much I don't know, you know, and that's, and in general medicine, at least for me, it really humbles me because you just have to call. I mean, and that's something else that's I am relying on physicians. Absolutely. I have a supervising physician that's at work, and I'm going and asking if I'm not sure about something, I'm absolutely getting help.
Sure.
There's nothing that I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody. I just want to understand what's going on and try and learn from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, no ego, right? You're just like trying to solve the problem, right? So
100%.
like let's use all your
100%.
resources that you have.
And especially in medicine, or in my experience, when you do let your ego shine through, that's when you get bit in the ass.
Sure. Yeah.
For sure.
I think that's anywhere.
Right? Yeah.
Ego's just not a good thing.
Yeah. And I think the ability to recognize that your ego is getting in the way is
Yeah.
a skill that I'm still developing. I think we all are, right? But
Yeah.
it's an incredible job. So it's just
You seem
keeps me on my toes.
extremely self-aware, right? So you talked about you mentioned something like how you're growing as a human and looking toward future and doing these things. And I would argue that a lot of people maybe aren't,
Sure.
especially
Yeah.
especially in our general age group.
Yeah,
There's a
I-
lot
I
of
would agree with that.
I'm
Yeah.
going to do the next thing. I'm going to go to school. You seem to have put a lot of thought into this and like where you're going and who you want to be. Where do you think that comes from?
To be honest, I mean, it goes back to family, 100%. So my mother is, she's kind of the champion of education in our household, and my father is just the workhorse of our household, and my sister is she's a combination of both. But my mother went to, so when my mom and dad met, my dad was a truck driver that was based out of Sacramento, so he was pulling big rigs over Donner, and then my mom was she worked at Wonder Bread. She was a cashier at Wonder Bread. And
I know someone who worked there for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess the cupcakes were awesome. Those sound good. But she had my sister and I, and things were tight, right? You know, you've got family. My dad was working overnights, so he was working FedEx heavyweight. He was doing trips down into Oakland every night. And so there was a small part of my life where I really didn't see him much, and we kind of just communicated through notes. And my mom was talking to a family friend, and she decided to go back to school. So she went back. She got her associate's degree in computer science.
Was this when you were in Carson?
This is when I was in Carson.
Okay.
So this was in middle school, and I just knew that she was going back to school. But and then she went and obtained her computer science degree at University of Nevada, and it completely changed our life.
Yeah.
Because
What a brave thing for her to do.
Yeah.
Oh, I
like
know.
being a
I know.
parent
yeah,
to like have this like reflection of being like, dude, I'm gonna do something that's gonna be really hard.
Yeah.
To go back to school like that
And
and have a
continue
kid
to
and
care
all
for
of
this family.
Oh yeah, 100%.
yeah.
like that's a super brave thing to do.
I know.
That's
I know.
tough.
And so in what I mean by it changed our life, I mean like we were frugal. We had to be because there was no other option. But then all of a sudden it was like we were starting to, and I guess material things is kind of like materialistic. It's redundant, but there was more opportunities for my sister and I after she went back to school, and we subconsciously knew that. But then as we started going into high school and we were talking with our parents, and now especially after I obtained my master's degree in PA studies, looking back and looking at those non-traditional students who have decided to go back to school after they've had a child, like you said,
So
what
insane.
Yeah, my
Right,
mom went
yeah,
back and got her master's in education when I was a kid. She was in her 40s.
it's incredible.
Yeah, pretty wild.
Like it's crazy. That's a crazy like undertaking.
Yeah, and so kind of going back because you were asking me like where my
where'd this
self-awareness come from? My father, throughout, so he was a truck driver, right? He had his high school degree, and all the time he would say, "You need to go to college. You need to get an education so you have opportunities so you can grow. You need to go to college. You need to have an education so you can grow. You need to learn." And he, truly in a father sense, I don't have a son, but truly in a father sense, he wanted to give me what he didn't have.
Sure.
And he never had that support to go and obtain that education. But he has always been a very self-aware man. So it's probably genetic.
Well, that's a really interesting message
also-
because I feel like a lot of people are given the message of go to college so you can get a good job.
Yeah.
So you can get paid well, right?
Sure.
Right,
And so
right,
having
grow.
that different message of
Yeah.
growth and learning and understanding the world differently, that's a very different perspective than I think a lot of people get.
Yeah, I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for that perspective.
Well, a lot of
because-
people go to college, right, to get the degree.
Yeah.
And they're not even really giving a crap about learning anything. They just want to get to the degree.
Yeah,
And then
100%.
yours has been very reflective on like what you want to do, like how do you
Yeah,
want to give
yeah,
back,
yeah.
which is you learning, right? Like,
Yes,
you're
yeah.
wanting to obtain something so you can regurgitate it back into the community.
Right.
You don't want just a piece of paper so you can make money so you can go buy more decoys, right? Which
Right,
you do.
right, which I love doing. Don't get me wrong. I
But-
love gear, as does my father. But there's and I'll share this. When I was a CNA, so I was a nurse, because as a young man, young woman, you're trying to figure out what to do to leave your mark, or you want to prove things, and you're trying to take the world on. And I remember walking into this being very troubled that day, thinking, God, what am I going to do with my life? And I was still in college, and you can't answer that question when you're
but
that
that's
young.
that's the question when you're in college.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the end goal?
Crazy, to ask an 18-year-old like, hey, so what do you want to do for the rest of your life?
Sure.
It's like, holy crap, And I think it's kind of shifting, but we all have different stories and how we.
I think the key though there is that it's not what do you want to do for the rest of your life. Like that shouldn't be the question,
Right.
Because you can reset a million fucking times.
Oh yeah,
it's like buying
when
a
you're
house.
20
Everybody's
when
like,
you're
well, I don't want to
20
buy a house because then I'm stuck with that house. I'm like, then you can sell it.
But when you're 20,
can stuff.
the reset is not something that you're completely aware of.
and the lack of perspective
Because you
At
haven't
least for me,
started yet.
that was
So
Right.
the idea
Yeah,
of a
you're
reset
on-
when you
you're
haven't
on
started is weird.
level
right?
1.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're not even to level 1 yet.
Yeah.
You
You're
think
in the
you started
game.
level 1. Level 1 starts. a
You're in
couple
the
years
game
later.
instruction.
Yeah, you need to flip the page.
Choose your own
Yeah,
adventure, but you haven't even chose yet.
Yeah, exactly.
I think with that too was a lot of our parents were resetting older and they didn't want that for us. So it
Yeah.
was like, go figure out right now at school what you want to do for
Yes.
the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So you don't have to reset when you're 27, 20, like 30.
I'd agree with that.
100%. Yeah, that's fair. But I think that's generational too. 'Cause
Absolutely.
The generation before that was like, college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go get a union job, which now union jobs are really better. But really quick to finish my point to go back to what you were saying about learning and being able to provide knowledge to somebody else, not only just create a paycheck. But there was a gentleman that I was helping as a nursing assistant, and he was an older gentleman in his 70s, and he had a procedure done. Maybe it was a hip replacement or something, and I was bringing his tray out. And at the hospital, Klamath Falls, Oregon, because that's where OIT is, there's one room. Actually, there's a couple rooms on I think it's the, what is that, north side of the hospital that overlook Klamath Lake. Klamath Lake is this weird, shallow lake that has all these blooms, but it's still beautiful. It's a lake, right? And he had arranged his chair to look over the lake. And I came in, and he was just sitting there looking and very deep in thought. And I just grabbed it, and he knew I was there, but he didn't acknowledge me. And I just sat there, and I looked at him. I said, where am I going to be? Because I'm going to be there. I might be there one day.
Yeah.
Whatever I do in my life, I need to make sure that when I'm looking at the lake and reflecting on it, it was worth it. And so I'm really grateful to say that what I'm doing right now is worth it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I love that. That's freaking amazing.
yeah,
I think something that you said there too, which is really important, is if you make it there, right? Because that's another side of this coin that I tussle with on a daily basis, is making these decisions that are long term versus short term, and like, do I even care? My wife and I like go back and forth on, like, we're really comfortable, we have like good money and everything. She's like, just enjoy shit right now. But I'm like, well, if I enjoy it too much right now, then we're going to be uncomfortable in the distant future. But then the distant future is not promised.
Yeah,
And then you go back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah.
Right. And so you tussle with that like thought process.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we also have our son, right? So I'm like, I want to set him up
that's-
better than I
there's
was.
like a-
Yeah.
And it adds this another layer of like, am I being too selfish now? Or am I not being selfish enough?
Right.
I think everyone calls it a balance, but I don't like that term. I'd rather call it a harmony. Balance.
Sure.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Balance implies
Is that for the singer
balance
over
implies
here?
that you're always moving and always rearranging, and it's this weird constant work. So like
Absolutely.
work life balance bullshit. It needs to be harmony. It needs to be this like peace across your life. And so between not just work life, but between what you're living for now and making sure that it's worth it now, and being prepared if you do live into your 70s, 80s, 90s, that's still going to look really good.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hard part, is finding that sweet spot of, I'm going to put this much away so that those years can be great and I can be solid, but then I'm going to take the trip and I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to do the hunt. I'm going to take the time to do the thing I want to do now, because that isn't promised.
Yeah.
And then hopefully if you're smart, like that thing that you have saved later, you can, if say you do get hit by a bus tomorrow, you have someone that you can give that to, that you'll feel really good about it.
Yeah.
Right. So that yeah, you have that trade-off.
Yeah.
And I don't think it has to be a complete trade-off. I think you could do both.
I think harmony is a fantastic analogy, truly, though, because it has to sound like it has to make sense.
Yes.
Like if you're
It has to
out
make
of
you happy
pitch,
now
yeah,
and make you happy later.
Yeah, if you're out of pitch, then it sounds bad.
Yeah.
You know, so that's
right.
great. I'm gonna steal that.
Yeah. Yeah. Balance is bullshit.
Balance is bullshit. You should make
Unless
sure
you're actually talking about physical balance, and then you should really work
actually,
on that and
That's
maintain
extremely
that. Yes.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to physical therapy. Listen to your GP. go to physical
Philosophical
therapy.
balance is bullshit. Let me
Yeah,
clarify.
There you go. Nice.
That I feel like I'm that way in the way that I'm calling bullshit earlier now.
Yeah.
The older I've gotten, the more I've looked at a situation and been like, yeah, I want nothing to do with that. Like I'm out where I would have stuck in it a lot longer, or I would have tried to make it work or figure it out. Now I'm just like, nah, fuck it, dude. That's not worth my time. I'm gonna go in this different direction. But then I'm also stubborn when it's something that I am driving myself. Can you believe that or not?
That you're
Yeah.
stubborn?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
would have never used that word for you.
Yeah. Neither would Lindsay. Yeah, so like I'm stubborn when I'm driving it. Like
Yeah.
that's where I find the harder of finding the harmony, not the balance, but the harmony. Outside entities are easier for me to control on how I want to approach them. Internally, I'm in this like giant battle. But it's like something something that you talked about actually a little bit in your questions and stuff is that you struggle with anxiety, and I think that that's where my anxiety comes from, is that battle of like I can't sit. I always have to be working. I always have to be doing something. I guess maybe if you can talk about that anxiety for you. And
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's something that I didn't realize until recently, because you know, obviously taking care of somebody is a huge responsibility. And there's a lot of anxiety that comes over that. You have a kid. I'm sure you feel that every day.
he takes care of himself.
Yeah. Right. So, you know, early in my time at this family practice clinic, it was starting to, I was able to manage my anxiety up to a point, and then I felt that it was starting to affect my ability to care for others, especially myself. And so, and I've struggled with anxiety my whole life, and I had no idea until I went to therapy. And that has just been life-changing. Truly. I'm just astounded and in a much better place now. I mean, like as I'm sitting here, like a year ago, I would be very uncomfortable sitting here talking to you guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Even coming from the background of like you're a singer. So did you have it in that same way?
So no, and this is strange from just my part. I'm very comfortable on stage. And so it was anxiety relieving for me, because it's this, I think it's a setting thing. Like
This is more of like very more spotlighty.
Right,
versus,
exactly. It's like, okay, the stage is yours. You go ahead and do your thing instead of
You're supposed to be there.
Yes, exactly. It's a you're supposed to be here sort of thing. Like the context is right, versus this social conversation where like, oh, should I have said that? Should I not have said that? And oh, I should have said that. Oh, I suck now that I didn't say that, which is debilitating. Like that's
100%.
that is debilitating. Like that changes. People's lives are dictated by their anxiety, and my life was absolutely until I started managing it better. So it's
funny how
it's
how anxiety comes out in so many different ways in people.
Oh yeah.
yes.
Because like mine's completely different.
Yeah.
Right?
I call it a social debrief.
Yeah.
So anytime, like after today, when I'm driving home, I'm gonna go like, did I do okay? I talked too much. They called me out because they were like, Bell's buzzed. You know, and but I've gotten a lot better about where I don't hold on to it. I do my social debrief and then I let it go.
Yeah.
But like yours is very different.
I'll walk out of this room and
You don't think about it's not a social.
I'll think about the conversation, be like, that was a great conversation. I'm glad Hank came. I'm not thinking about what
How
I
many
said
knives am I
at
going to get done
all.
today?
Mine's driven off of if I go to bed too early, I get super bad anxiety because I could be getting something done.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
leaving stuff on my plate.
Yeah.
And I need to keep pushing. Like mine is like I can't go sit on a beach because I'm like this is
just
just
gotta
a
keep moving.
waste for me.
Yeah.
I got to keep
Yeah,
moving.
absolutely.
I'm
It's taken me a
okay
long
with
time
being
to
at
get
the
there.
lake,
Yes.
but I'm gonna go for a hike. I'm gonna go see
Yeah,
some shit.
absolutely.
But sitting
Yeah,
in
I
like
just can't
one
sit
spot,
there.
yeah.
100%.
And it's driven on both like physically sitting in one spot and emotionally, like mentally sitting in one spot.
Okay,
Like,
so
I have a really hard time sitting watching TV.
one very quickly. What kind of band?
So I was in
kind of music?
I was in a rock band.
Okay.
In college, I was in a rock band. We were called Box Brothers because we were trying to figure out a way to dampen our buddy's garage. So we couldn't afford acoustic dampening, right? Because we're
Sure.
broke.
Yeah.
So we drove to the Aaron's electronics store and stole all the cardboard out of their recycling. So I had a Chevy S10 Blazer and we stuffed that thing.
That's what that was my first car.
No way, really? Yeah,
like a 94
Oh
S10.
yeah, it was a 94. It was green and gray.
I had a teal
No
one.
way.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, with the spare tire on the back.
yes.
That's so funny. I went through 3 heater cores on that damn thing.
I went through a lot of starters.
Really?
Oh yeah, I had
Oh,
like the
yeah.
hammer
Oh,
and
really?
like climb
Yeah.
under and yeah.
Oh my god! I got
That's
stuck
old
in
school there.
4 low one time. I had to drive the back
Mine
roads
broke.
of Klamath.
Yeah. So I had a
saw
rear
it.
wheel drive. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was an awesome car. It would overheat. It was, anyways.
Sorry.
So yeah, we stuffed it full. That's great. We stuffed it full of cardboard, and there are these huge washing machine cardboard boxes, and we put those up,
yeah.
and then we hopped
Perfect.
inside of them. We were playing. We're like, oh, Box Brothers.
Perfect. I really like
and
that.
it really didn't help the acoustic dampening at all. It's just we were playing.
just had a
way too loud.
Fire issue now, and they're
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was just
Fire, total fire hazard.
100%. It was just an atrocity. It was awesome though. So yeah, Box Brothers, and that's on Spotify. You can listen to that.
Dang, okay.
awesome.
And so we did
I will.
we did 11 songs, and we recorded them all in one day because that's what we could afford.
Sure.
And we drove down to Carson City. We recorded at Play Your Own Music in Carson City, and then we came back and tracked the vocals. So that was a lot of fun. And then those 2 guys are in. One of them's in a band called Owls and Aliens, and it's like a metal band. And they rock. And then my other buddy he's in Portland playing every instrument in every band. So that's fun.
Cool.
And then I moved home and I had a band here called Motive. We were a rock band too. And then right now my thing is I'm a single artist called Hank Wiley. You can find me on selfless plug here. Finally
Do
on
it.
Instagram.
Yeah,
Send it.
absolutely.
So we got some songs that are on deck. I got to get into my house first, and then we can start kind of allocating music. So
Are you gonna have like a room in your house for it?
part of my shop is
Okay.
carved out for it. So
How does music does it help your anxiety?
it's substantial.
Is it yeah?
It's like when I leave here, it'll just be music the entire way.
Is there a primary thing in learning? Sorry to go back to anxiety. I just really wanted to
no,
ask what
yeah.
kind of band you're in.
Please.
Do you have a key thing or something that you have learned as far as managing the anxiety that has helped you the most?
Predictability. Regimen is huge for me. I get distracted very easily. Anybody who knows me.
You're doing great.
really knows that.
You've kept us on track today
Well,
already.
thank
I
you.
just
I'm
wanted you to
trying.
know that.
I'm trying.
You're doing great too, by the way, Mel. Don't beat yourself up.
No, you're doing great. Predictability, just having a schedule, making sure that I follow that. So discipline, and then definitely, your baseline stuff: exercise, diet, making sure you get outside.
That's yep.
If I'm on the weekends, I want to be outside all weekend. Just throw me into the sun.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Move and eat well to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
That's what I tell my patients too. They come in like literally boost
You're a
serotonin.
plant. You're basically a plant.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to get some sunshine.
Vitamin D is
Yeah.
very beneficial for mood. It can be, all that. You guys know that. But so just really making sure that you're trying to take care of yourself, and then on a broader spectrum, like I'm a people pleaser 100%, and I've become more selfish over the last couple of years, and it's been one of the best things I've
Recovering
ever-
people pleaser.
recovering. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Almost in remission. I'm just kidding. So that's the goal.
How does people pleasing? Can that be really tough in your line of work?
Extremely.
Yeah.
Extremely. And it's interesting because you have a duty to not please people,
Sure.
Yeah.
which I I struggle with, absolutely. So you have to be able to have those difficult conversations and just shoot it straight with people, because I'm a human, and humans will shortchange themselves and make excuses and bend words. And you have to just say, you need to stop eating sugar for your diabetes, or you will lose your vision and you will damage your kidneys.
And maybe a foot.
And maybe a foot. Yeah, 100%. And we need to start this medication for X, Y reason, right? So so yeah, that's a great question.
Have you been able to translate that into your life?
Yes.
Or is it pretty separate?
Definitely.
Okay.
Do you have two different personalities between work or do you feel like you are you at work?
I'm pretty much the same guy at work. I wish I had two personalities. Just maybe I'll develop that as I'm growing as a PA.
I mean, I don't think that's a good thing.
Right.
I think it's probably better if it's you.
Yeah.
Because I mean, from like helping individuals, if they're hearing tough news, it's better to hear it from an actual person than a robotic.
Oh man.
Like
Well,
individual, right?
You've seen a surgeon, right?
Oh yeah.
Where they're just like, they're very. It's just facts. There's not a lot of.
So the surgeon. Do you know Madsen? He's a surgeon in Reno.
He sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think it's Christopher Madsen.
Orthopedic?
No, he's I don't know, just general.
I might have seen some.
He did my hernia repair 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, general.
He is like, he's a robot, but I fucking love the dude.
Oh yeah,
Like,
100%.
And he's funny because he's like, he'll like take his gloves off and be like, all right, this is what we're doing, and then he just leaves. You're like, okay, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I'm jealous of those people, because
Yeah.
I wish I was like that, but I'm not. I'm going to say, how are you doing? Like, address the human in front of you. So, and I guess that's why I'm family practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So, yeah. But,
Yeah, he was funny. So I'm having issues with the repair, and I just like went back in and saw him, and he like came in. And he's like, "So sorry to see you again." And then and I was like, "He's like, so what's going on?" And then he just like really checked it out, and then he's like, "All right, we'll do some imaging," and then he just left.
yeah.
Like, okay,
All right.
where do I go?
Sounds good, doc. I love it. Yeah. Where do I go get my image?
I fractured my pelvis 10 years ago now.
That's so funny.
And he literally like
Fractured it?
yeah. So no surgery. So he looked at me. He like looked at my chart and looked at my age, and he's like, "You're fine." He's like, "So I hear you're a game warden," and he talked to me about hunting for like 30 more minutes.
So anyways,
So I got this tag in this unit.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's so funny.
I mean, that's just taking an opportunity when you got one.
That's
Really,
right. That's right.
Don't hate the
Oh,
player, hate the game.
I would be a liar if I didn't say that. I would be behind schedule a couple of days because I'm talking ducks with somebody. And my MA is like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry."
Like, what? I got to take the
He
opportunity.
limited last weekend. I didn't limit.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out what his spread was.
Yeah, I know. I was like, is he throwing out mallards or is he throwing out pintails? So
Yeah. What's he doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Where's he going?
But-
That's amazing.
No, but yeah,
You're like, I'll tell you your test results if you give away your spots.
Yeah, exactly. So your test results, and as you slide over the Onyx point,
Yeah.
just put that down there, and I'll tell you your vitamin D level.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you give me a pin, I'll give you some results.
Yeah. Exactly.
Scratch my back, I'll scratch your
Oh
back.
man, it's funny.
Yeah.
Coming out of when you leave work after a rough day, how do you deal with that? How do you go, talking about not having two personalities and leaving one person at work, right? How do you go home? How do you talk regularly to other people after you've had maybe a really rough day?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think
You could pass.
no. This is important.
Not my direction though. It's,
no.
I don't know
How do you come home?
Jake can't leave it at work.
I think
Well, he
walk-
works
I
at
walk,
home,
I
so.
walk across my driveway and then I mope inside too.
yeah, exactly. And then I'm in my house. It was very difficult in the beginning, especially when my anxiety was uncontrolled, because it's hard to detach. Especially if we're human beings, we mess up. If you mess up it depends on the situation, but if you're wrong, that can affect somebody.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you see it directly. It may be more so in my profession than other people's professions. And it's a terrible feeling. It's one of the worst feelings in the world. So it kind of goes back to to recognizing the emotion. You know, what are you? Why do you feel so terrible about this? And then giving yourself some compassion. Okay, you're a brand new PA. You know, you're still learning. Are they safe? They are safe. Maybe you didn't order the right test, but they're safe.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of thing. I guarantee you're going to have a situation similar to this, and you'll be ready the next time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm not making that same mistake
Yeah,
twice kind
exactly.
of situation, reflecting on the situation.
100%. And making sure that my anxiety is in check, so then I don't go down the rabbit hole of I'm a terrible PA.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because that
Terrible
is,
PA
that's-
makes me a terrible person.
I'm a
makes
bad
me
person. I'm a bad
Yeah.
musician. I'm a bad hunter.
Can't do anything right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a domino effect.
It
right?
is.
So it overlaps a little bit with self-confidence then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And part of the
What was
part of the
that? What did I just
Damn.
miss? There's a story.
What?
No, I
Sorry.
thought Dom was gonna be glaring at me.
No.
She's been trying to like mess up my self-confidence
Oh,
for like the last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Bringing
okay.
you down for 2 years now.
She's been
It's working.
trying
Well, maybe if
to
you
bring me
stop
down.
getting
No,
her
that's
hot
that's
dog
an
things.
pertinent
Dude.
person to.
The hot
Stop
dog.
sending me hot dog videos, and I'll stop trying to bring you down.
We've been on. Do you
Sorry.
like hot dogs?
I really just sorry. I derailed us real
No.
hard.
No, I'm not a hot dog.
Thank
I'm a
you.
brat
Brought
guy.
a
there you
brat,
go.
yes.
There you go. You too.
I was like,
There we
brats?
go.
Hell
What do
yes.
we talk? Yeah.
Yeah.
Enlighten me about this hot dog situation.
So,
Sorry, I derailed us real hard.
no, it's all good. Let's go on this derail for a second because it's pretty
Yeah,
funny.
No,
So,
now I need to know. My
we-
anxiety is telling me that I need to understand this hot
So,
dog.
so Dom works full time at Senka Sen. I do contract work, and we film together. And one of the things that we film is that they challenge me to design certain things. Just as like an engineer, I have to
Okay.
design something.
Okay.
And I got this challenge to make a hot dog rotisserie that mounts onto a jet boil.
Okay. All right.
And so I did it successfully.
You did do it.
And so when we were cooking the hot dogs, the cinematographer and our editor and I were just like spooling about hot dogs. And we've gotten to a point now where it's just a thing now with Dom,
It's just
where we just talk about hot dogs.
Stop.
But on Instagram, there's the 4 of us in a group, and we just send hot dog reels to her all day long.
I really want to be in this group.
I'll add you.
I
to
know
it.
I know
And then
I
they
know.
bought me a hot dog cable.
Yeah. we
So
bought
it's
out
a charge cable with hot dogs on it.
Nice.
They're removable. so
She
you can just
messaged
leave
the
them
other day,
anywhere.
she messaged that in there the other day, and she's like, "When are the hot dog reels gonna stop?" And I just sent another hot dog reel as a response.
Oh no, I was telling Mel, I was like, my Instagram is only recommending
I
me
was about to say
hot dogs.
But what cracked me
and I'm
up,
so
I
over
didn't
it.
even-
Now my Instagram's gonna start
Yeah.
recommending.
No, mine
You're
did.
like, what?
I wasn't even part of this project. I literally walked up while they were cooking hot dogs. And that same day, I had hot dog reels.
So
And I was
funny.
like, man,
It's gonna be incredible.
stop listening
And now
to me.
when people listen to this podcast,
They're
Hot
have
dog
they're
reels.
gonna have hot dog reels.
Hashtag hot
And then
dogs.
they're gonna talk to their
Do you
family
know
about
how
hot
many?
dogs.
There's
Who
so
knew?
many hot dog
I was gonna
reels.
say, who knew how many people
I
were
was about to
making
say, what are
hot
these
dog
hot dogs?
reels?
Is it
I'll
like,
show you when we get done
I'll
here.
show you.
I'll show you
hot
some.
dogs, or is it
It's-
like
no,
like
it's-
Costco hot dogs?
No, it's just people like just talking about hot dogs.
Oh, and then
doing it.
our cinematographer keeps going to Costco to get, so keeps sending us pictures of his
Polish
Costco
dogs.
hot
Yeah.
dog
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, it's hysterical.
Does he really get that many hot dogs?
Yes,
He's-
lately.
honestly,
That's a lot
I think
of hot
Keaton
dogs.
might have a problem. Keaton's the one that started it, and we're all just kind of going with it. But Keaton, I think, he's like on the hot dog train.
Okay.
I mean, I like a good Costco dog,
Sure.
but like,
Well, his excuse has been that he has
Costco-
people over,
dogs are
right?
or he just is
No,
driving
he's
by
just,
Costco.
He's just driving by Costco on the way to work and is like, stop
And
and
he'll
get a
just
hot
pull
dog.
into
Oh
Costco.
Yeah.
man, Costco
Oh,
is
yeah.
not
boy,
worth. I
you
don't
guys
know.
need
I
to
better.
have
I have to
an
already
invention.
be in Costco.
I don't know this man, but
Exactly.
Yeah.
I kinda
Costco
respect-
hot dog?
I kind of respect it. Honestly,
Yeah,
that's some
it's
commitment.
dedication.
Yeah. What's your Costco hot dog? Yes or no?
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
But it's not something that I
You wouldn't stop
go out of my way.
you wouldn't stop when you're driving by Costco to go
No,
get a hot dog.
No, it's not like I go. Oh,
Wouldn't
there's a
get it when
Costco.
I'm in Costco either.
So
That's
Oh
hot
man.
dogs.
All right.
All right,
Sorry.
let's
Hard
get-
sidetrack.
let's
We'll
get
bring
back
it
on.
back.
That was
Bring her
important.
back.
That was important.
So
we
speaking
were
of
talking
hot
about-
dogs,
we were talking about self-confidence and how that is related to like questioning yourself after you've like made a bad decision.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it goes back to the whole imposter syndrome
Sure.
sort of thing, right? And realize like lean. I guess I hate saying that because I saw an Instagram reel or somebody who said lean into the imposter syndrome, and that always comes into my head and it kind of works. So I do it.
Yeah, if it works for you.
Which makes me mad with it.
Yeah.
From an Instagram reel, but
We talk a lot about like why we don't love social media, but one of the things that I don't think we've brought up yet is that it really ends up overusing a lot of terms like imposter syndrome or
absolutely.
all of a sudden you kind of can't say certain words
Yeah,
because now it's trendy on social media and
right. And it just gets misinterpreted.
but I feel like a majority of people have imposter syndrome.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I've had it a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like every day. Right
Really?
now. Oh, right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
You're
ain't
killing it.
yeah, I was gonna say.
Mel, I'll text you an hour after this podcast to remind you did good.
Yeah.
She does. She does every time.
That's so supportive.
But I know
supportive
I'm
friend.
very lucky. I'm very fortunate. Sorry.
Yeah.
Although I keep bumping the camera,
Yeah,
she's
that's the
gonna be
only-
like,
that's
stop
my only
touching my
note.
Oh,
camera.
you
Is
got
that
it. You've
you're
actually
just kicking
turned
the
it now. You got to turn it back.
Yeah.
See?
good.
Now today she's
Now I'm
gonna,
gonna text you an hour later and be like, you did amazing.
You
Other
fu-
than
you
you
fucked up
kicked
real
the
bad.
camera several times.
I'm just gonna send you a hot dog reel. I'm gonna stay neutral.
man.
Yes, so.
Okay.
Yeah. The whole imposter syndrome thing, and yeah, especially as a young PA, you just
Yeah.
oh my
Does-
goodness, am I doing what I need to do? And
How does music feed into that? Like, as far as you talked about not being nervous on stage or that sort of thing.
Let me add slightly on it.
Yeah.
Is it an outlet or an inlet?
Yep.
Into, is it you removing something from you, or is it you allowing
Thank
something to like fill a void?
You articulated what I wanted to ask way better than I was going to. Thank
That's
you.
why we're teammates.
Yes.
you know, I would say the latter.
Okay.
I think it's a.
All right. Sorry, I don't know which one I said first.
No. It's the inlet.
Oh, inlet. Okay, so the second.
And I think
You're
and
putting something of yourself into it.
absolutely, yeah. I sing the hell out of whatever I'm trying to sing.
Sure.
So yeah.
So it takes your mind off of it, removes you from that mindset and puts you in a different mindset.
absolutely. It really makes you
Yeah, I get that.
live in the moment, right? And that's what it's awesome because you have to be on time. And you just have to you have to surrender to the rhythm and what's happening, right? If you're
Find your harmony.
and just play
That's right.
Call back.
and not think, right? So there's the old adage, you can't, if you're thinking, you're not playing,
Yeah.
right? And that's
I
why you
get that.
practice.
I feel
Yeah.
like it's a little bit of both, though. Like, because I get the stage thing. I used to be an actor, so I grew up doing theater. So, like, the
Once
stage
an
is
actor, always an
always
actor.
an actor.
Used to be an actor. Bull.
Yeah. Do some Shakespeare.
But I love Shakespeare. But I feel like it's also an outlet of what's going on. Like, you can get on stage and you're like, everything that is going on is completely gone because now I'm so in what I'm doing
Yeah.
that. So I feel like it's actually a little bit of both.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're now Anne Frank.
Absolutely.
I'm Anne Frank
What?
now.
Whatever. Yeah, you're in a play when you're Anne Frank or something. You're not you.
You gotta,
anymore.
Yeah, you're
explain.
like-
you gotta explain that comment a little bit
Sorry.
better.
I
was
I
like,
went
what?
Annie, and I was like, I think that's a play, but I was like, Anne Frank is definitely got to be a play. And then
Annie, you should have stuck with Annie.
Annie's a play, right?
The sun will come out tomorrow.
It's a
Yeah.
musical.
It needs to play. I think.
Anne Frank is Nazi Germany.
I know.
Okay.
That's what I said. She's like hiding in the thing.
Yes. Yeah,
But
okay.
I'm sure there's been a play on Anne Frank.
Absolutely. The references didn't land.
That's great. That's great.
No,
Jake
yeah.
has no theater knowledge at all. It's
No,
fine.
not at all.
So what made you move? Talk of not maybe having an
keep
ace
it
or
on
not.
track
What made you move out to Fernley?
So,
There
when
was
I
a
in-
job there.
when I-
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, yes. I mean, yeah. Let's be honest.
Is it a job or a girl?
It was a job. No, it was a job.
Okay.
But there's some background to that too, which I want to explain. So when I was so how PA school works is you have 1 year of curriculum and then you have 1 year of rotations, and you go and you rotate, and there's core rotations, and then you get to choose 4 rotations. And usually when PA school, you stay a month in a certain specialty, and then you go to another specialty. My program came to me and said, we want to send you to Ely for 4 months. And I said,
You're like, is it hunting season?
hell yeah, I'm down. Like, yeah, exactly. It wasn't though. I
Don't
wish it
send me
was.
in March.
I tried chuck hunting out there, and I was but and I said absolutely. It's rare that a PA gets to stay in one place for 4 months, and I was going to be at the community hospital, rotating in their family practice, their OBGYN, and then my medically underserved population, which would cover it. So I got to do orthopedics, ER, internal medicine. So I was just all over the place. And I loved it. We were I was living in, the school rented out this 1 bed, 1 bath, shack, not a shack. That sounds like, no, but it was a little, guest house.
It was probably
Like
a shack.
600 square
small.
feet.
It was pretty small. I mean, it's probably not much bigger than this room.
Like a little studio.
Yeah, a little studio. That's exactly what it was. Just enough room for a kitchen, bathroom, and a bed.
Yeah.
And I was there for 4 months. It was awesome. I would ride my bike to work. So I fell in love with rural medicine for sure.
Okay.
Because it's just, I like the pace. The patient population is very grateful, honestly, because they don't have to go out of town to get their care. And I really liked that. And then, so when it came time to start applying for jobs, I knew I wanted to be general medicine, and then Fernley was open. So
Okay.
I applied and got the position.
And you enjoy it out there,
I do. I really do.
even with the growth that it's been seeing.
So that's a good question, because I'm part of the growth.
Sure.
So I really enjoy it. I hope that I still enjoy it as it grows. And I think it's going to grow.
It's gonna grow a lot.
It's going, because we're at 20,000 people right now. Fallon's like 9,000
Yeah.
people. I think it's going to double.
Yeah.
I think
I think it's
fair.
probably.
I kind of
realistic.
think it's going to double and then it's going to dwindle back down.
I think so.
Right.
It'll kind of be like a ghost town.
With
like
a little
boom
bit
and
with
bust.
the building all the new technology centers
Yes.
that's out there.
and then
But then
and
all
then-
those jobs
but
are gonna
then-
go away.
Yeah, because they're long term. They don't employ a lot of people long term. It's a lot of construction.
Yeah,
Same
it's
thing
the
with
building
kind-
phase.
Well,
takes
like
us
what's
to-
happening in Winnemucca right now.
There's a lot. Oh yeah, that
with the mines.
Uh-huh.
So they have that big lithium mine, and a ton of people have moved in, but they're not long term. They're not staying.
Yeah, they're just gonna
they're
stay
going to be
until
there
the
for a
lithium's
while,
gone. Yeah,
but
then
they're not staying for 20
100%.
years.
Well, and there's a lot of I've encountered a lot of journeyman electrician that are out on USA Parkway, and they're in from Dakotas, Montana
Mm-hmm.
for 3 years until their contract's up, and then they're moving back home. But they're making
They're making.
there's
all their
so
money
much
right now.
money, and
Yeah.
it's ridiculous that they didn't consider the infrastructure
Yeah.
for USA Parkway.
Oh, yeah.
because it ruins people's lives to sit in that traffic. Ruined my life, so I couldn't imagine the
Yeah.
factory
Did you
worker.
live in Reno and work
I lived
there for a while?
I lived in Sparks and would commute, and
Dude.
there were some nights I would get off work at like 7:30 because I'd need to finish and that's my one rule. Also going back to what managed my anxiety, I have to get my notes done that day.
Sure.
Yeah,
No
charting.
matter what. And sometimes I'm really good and sometimes I'm terrible, but I have to get them done because you can easily fall behind.
Yes.
And I'll get my notes done at 7:30 and I'd get home at 9:30 and it's like
Yeah,
and
on
it
a
would
drive
be
that's 30
stop-
minutes.
Yes, and it's stop and go traffic and you're just surrounded by idiots.
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
I feel for those who have a family at home and have to sit in that traffic
Yeah.
every
Their
single
family's
day.
eating dinner without them
Yep,
and all this
exactly.
kind of stuff. And
then
they're
they
just
just
sitting
show
there.
up and then they got to go back and do it again. Somebody gets in a wreck that next morning, and that's scary too. It's not a good road.
No.
That was back.
So
that's-
yeah, what are you doing? What are you guys doing together? Doing a lot of hunting.
we do a lot of hunting.
Okay.
So have you seen the Dos Hueros?
Yeah, that's what I
Instagram?
wanted to ask you about.
So me and my buddy Zach, I've known since high school, and we've just been partners in crime ever since. Or no, I've known him since T-ball, and then we kind of reunited in high school, and it's just been debauchery ever since. So we got done with high school, and then we did the Camino de Santiago, which is the pilgrimage across
On
the northern
bikes,
tip of-
right?
Yeah, on
Yeah.
bikes on the northern tip of Spain, 500
Oh,
miles.
wow.
And that was just that was a great time. That we could do a whole podcast on that.
Yeah.
We should have
actually
you
know
guys back
some-
on to
when-
just
Oh,
talk
I
about
would
that.
love to.
So I know
Zach's
someone who
doing
did it
That
last
would be-
year, who walked it last year.
Really?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
walking. That's for real.
Yeah.
How far is it?
500 miles.
But there's multiple routes.
There is multiple
So-
routes. So we did
And
the
then they
French
all
route.
end at a church,
Santiago,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, in Santiago. And so it's an
Santiago
old
de
pilgrimage.
Compostela. Yeah.
in
Very
northern
cool.
Spain.
Mules, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But
Yeah.
so and going back, so when my grandma got sick, I came home. Zach was here. My grandpa was like, "Hey, you want to go duck hunting?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. Can I bring my buddy Zach?" Like, yeah, absolutely. And I think we hunted every weekend. We would do ducks, and then Zach's dad had just gotten a pointer. Her name's Olive, and Jim would let us take Olive, and we would just go chukar hunting every single weekend. And Zach's grandpa Tommy would call us güeros because he's from Mexico, and we thought it was funny, so we said dos güeros. Yeah. So that's the whole Instagram thing. So we try and post, we post all our adventures. Anybody who harvested an animal last year in our family, our friends, goes up on the Instagram. We do just goofy cooking stuff. I'm sure you saw that.
We saw the one. Yeah.
So we do that, and
We saw the one you tagged HAViK in.
I know. We got to tag HAViK. So I made Zach grab the skinner, and we were doing that turkey, and it's just fun. It's just a little celebration of hunting in the community, hunting, fishing,
friendship,
and the community that surrounds that, and Zach is a character. So
cannot be described as anything less.
Yeah. He is just a funny guy. So
he is.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. So that's what we're doing.
Nice.
Last night we were fishing lahontan. We were up till 2 trying to catch some catfish. So the chicken liver was hitting last night. Actually, the combo, we had a chicken liver and worm combo. So
nice.
Tex had some hot dogs that he marinated in garlic and
Yep.
he had some hot dogs. Yeah, and he and it was in Jello.
moment.
It was raspberry Jello, and he injected it with Jello. It was so stinky. Didn't catch anything.
Not a thing.
Yeah, not a thing. He was real upset about it.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, I cannot
He's
believe.
like,
The
I'm
hot
so
dog
hard.
and garlic
Yeah.
trick. Yeah, hot dog and garlic normally works pretty good.
I know. I was like,
It was the
we're
Jello.
gonna-
The
we're
Jello
gonna
just
get-
was
Maybe-
too
yeah,
much.
Maybe it was the Jello.
They were like, nah.
Yeah. And he was like, I saw some redneck on Instagram do this, and I think
Yep.
that it should work. I was like, sure, Tex, whatever. And Shane.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shane. Shane is Zach's brother, who was a fishing guide up in Alaska. So we were lucky enough to go up to the Kenai.
Yeah.
And he helped us fish up there. So
Awesome.
it was.
Man, you guys are all over the place.
We try.
Yeah.
We try.
That's good.
So Zach
get any tags?
did not get any tags, but collectively, so our other buddy Zach, who you guys haven't met yet, he got his first mule deer tag out by Elko. So I'm really excited for.
Heck yeah.
We're gonna try and get him on one because his thing is turkeys. He got 6 turkeys between California and Oregon this year. Yeah,
Wow.
He was getting after it. It's awesome. But this is his first big game tag, so I'm hoping that we can get him on a good one.
Rifle?
Rifle, any legal weapon. So
Is
I'm
it
super
10?
Excited.
Or is it?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think
You'll
it
be
is
out there
10.
with
It's
everybody.
somewhere around 10.
And their mother, yeah.
Yeah, I know. So
The side by side central.
yeah, exactly. And then my grandpa drew antelope, mule deer, and cow elk this year. Yeah.
So did Jake Dalton did the same thing.
Yeah.
Cow elk, cow elk.
Someone at work was like, man, I have so many points that they had a lot of points. And I said, be careful what you apply for next year because you're going to dry everything.
Yeah.
So make sure, just make sure.
Or you just don't well, that's what Jake put them in.
Yeah.
And they're all the same time.
Yeah.
He's like, I guess I'm returning some tags. I'm like, well, you should have put them in.
Yeah. Space them out.
Space 'em out.
I know. Well, this year I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for muzzleloader. I don't own one. So after this, I'm going to Shields to buy one.
So
Sure.
you know what's funny is I put in for muzzleloader with the same thing where I'm like, I don't have one, but I'll buy one when I get the tag.
I know. And so it happened. I saw the charge hit my phone. I was
You're
like,
like, yes, of course.
Shit. Like, yeah, I got to
Guess I'm buying a muzzleloader.
I know. I was like,
Darn
dang
it.
it. And now I've been.
There's such nice ones now.
I know,
Yeah.
and I went down the whole rabbit hole of 45 versus 50 and the bullet coefficient versus that sort of thing.
Where
so
are you going with?
I'm trying to
check 'em
decide.
out.
You're going to go,
check them out.
just close your eyes.
Yeah, I'm gonna
reach
sit in
out.
Shields
The
parking lot.
The one chooses the wizard, my man.
Hunter.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Standing at the gun counter in Shields, it's like, burn. It's like everything starts glowing. My hair starts.
You know what you
blowing in
do
the
is you
wind.
just close your eyes, you pick one up,
Yeah,
you look,
yeah.
you close your eyes, pick the other one up, and you look, and
Yeah.
one will feel better.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like the old school musket, the wood.
It's
sky. Yeah.
with the
Yeah,
flare.
dang it, I have a yeah. It's like, yeah.
Someone I know was actually just telling me a story about how they left their rod in the. They shot it. They're like they were target shooting. And they couldn't figure out why it sounded so weird and kicked so hard. They're like, this is
Do
really
they go to
strange.
reload and there's no
like,
Well, they
wow.
went up. They're like, let's go look at the target, and there it was, like in the.
Oh my god, it's
Yeah, because they were only They weren't shooting very far, and the
that's so funny.
the ramrod was just like
That's awesome. Yeah, so I'm gonna go check that out after.
Cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
So,
Yeah,
I'm really excited. It should be fun.
I think that's it. Muzzleloader, I think in Nevada is actually a really interesting one to have because I think that with like mule deer and stuff, I know where you're going, Mel, but that's not where I'm going with it.
Stop telling everybody.
No, for me with muzzleloader, it's kind of cool because if you wanted to have that bridge between rifle and archery, muzzleloader is like a really great bridge.
Yes. Yeah.
Because
It's true,
archery,
yeah, if you're
that's what
thinking
the
of
problem is. A lot of people switch to archery, and then
Stalking
they don't,
is really hard.
and then they don't ever fill the tag
Yeah.
because it's freaking hard.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But then muzzleloader, you get that extra. So I can get to 100 yards on a mule deer, no problem,
But I could-
all day long, every day.
Yeah.
But getting to 50, 40 yards now is like the hard part, right?
But you could argue you could also just get closer with your rifle.
Sure. Yeah.
They're,
I like
they're a little
archery.
more
Yeah,
tuned
but
up by then, though.
There's the other
Who's gonna
reason
do
why I
that?
do
Just
archery, which we won't talk about because you don't want me to say it.
I want you
We'll
to say it.
We'll do after.
I got a cow tag and a mule deer tag,
Yeah,
but
if
archery.
I-
Good.
yeah,
Nice.
if-
That's awesome. What
I'd be putting in for
time frame?
muzzleloader, too.
When
August 1st to August 14th
Okay,
in
so it is-
075 for my cow tag.
Okay.
And then I think it's August 16th to September 9th is my mule deer tag in
Okay.
071, 075. So it's garbage. I'll hunt 072.
Right on.
So yeah, man, I'm soaked.
That's cool.
All right. Scouter.
Did
I
you
will
draw
scout.
anything this year?
No, I didn't.
Did you not even put in for points?
I have nowhere to put anything. I'm going to
Points.
live in a van and then I'm going to live on a boat. Where am I going to keep meat like that?
Then you're going to live on a boat? What are you talking about? I don't know that.
That's
thing.
my 10-year plan.
Why are you working on a fence?
Cattle drive. Okay, so I volunteer for
okay.
Reno Rodeo.
I was like,
Yeah, I wish I
Sorry,
wish I had a
I had a
fence.
moment where I was like,
You're
what
not wrong.
fence?
You're in-
I wish I
you're in
had a fence and
mobile-
I wish I had that property. I would take it in a heartbeat, but no.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm temporarily housed, but in general I'm unhoused. So
You have enough friends. You're not going to go unhoused.
and I have a very like for the kind of long-term future, I have a very minimalist like idea of how I want to
Cool.
live.
Cool. That
Yeah.
sounds nice.
Yeah.
Did you go
Unfortunately,
look at that truck with the camper?
it sold.
I don't think that's the right move.
There's another one. Okay, so there's something.
What kind of truck?
Well, so what I really
So
want
she's
is a
been going off with
van.
like Sprinter vans, but she
Yeah.
wants 4-wheel drive.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So my problem is my budget doesn't match the 4-wheel drive. Okay, we're getting way off track. Anyway,
No, this is outdoorsy.
I think it's outdoorsy.
oh, you
We're-
want to talk
we're
about? Okay, we can
outdoorsy.
talk about this. Yeah. So my budget, my goal is to not finance it, but yeah, my plan is some van life because I figure if I don't like it, I
absolutely.
can sell the van. I'm in the situation I'm in.
Yeah,
I have a hard time stomaching. I have a lot of wanderlust, and I really like just cruising around and doing whatever I want. So I have a hard time stomaching like paying that much for like a mortgage or even rent
Okay.
at this point and
Yeah,
what
yeah,
the
that's
prices
fair.
are like right now by myself. So like I could afford a house where I could keep my horses by myself, but I literally would not be able to do anything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
That would-
become house poor.
I would be house poor. So yeah, so I have a medium
gotcha.
goal, van life. My long-term goal is to live on a sailboat.
Where at?
I thought I've told you this.
I didn't know the
In
sailboat part.
Tahiti.
No, that was
I'm
that
just
was
kidding, I'm
different.
kidding.
That's something else. Don't.
Yeah, I didn't know about the sailboat part.
Yeah, so and I think where I really loved a few years ago I went to Greece, Montenegro, Croatia, Italy. So there I also love Caribbean. Florida is pretty off the keys of Florida. You can be anchor on a tiny island every day. And if I get the poors are in Sea of Cortez. So like if I can't afford Greece, I'll end up in the Sea of Cortez. And what's actually really cool is I was talking to a handful of people recently and they're like, and I realized I know a lot of people that have beachfront property down Baja, like on the Cortez side. And I'm like, can I anchor at your house? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, I actually might have a pretty decent amount of people where I can cruise like the Baja and just anchor at their house.
So are you just gonna go straight to sailboat instead of a van?
No,
You're
I
gonna
want
go
a
van
van.
first.
I because I've got the dog
Yeah.
and she's a little old to try to put her into sailboat life right now. I think she could do it, but like I'm not sure how fair it is.
It's tough.
If she were younger,
Fair.
I'd be like, yeah, man, she'd be fine.
Are you at this point though? We've been talking about this van thing, like where you're just like Are you just not pulling the trigger because you're just not pulling the trigger?
No, I really haven't found something that fits my budget. And so I realize I have to compromise on one of a couple things. So I either need to find something that is not built at all and then take my time because I don't want to finance it. Take my time to put in the money to build it. I have friends who will help me build it, but they are all extremely busy and I know you don't have time. Him being one of them. So as much as I appreciate people who would be willing to help me, I know they don't have the time for me to do a full build. So I would,
sure.
So it's either compromising on, and I don't expect to find something completely done. I just want a base, or potentially financing part of it. Right. And then just like,
that's kind of what I was thinking.
Hurry up and pay it off.
Yeah. That's just finance part of it. Get in it.
Yeah.
And then just pay it off.
Yeah.
Anyway, that'd be my
so that's
vote.
like that's like where my compromise is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is the other thing I could do is finance the van part of it and then pay for the build and do a professional build.
Yeah.
And then if I have money left over.
The nice thing about that though is that those things don't lose their value. You can resell those Sprinter vans really well.
Especially 4-wheel drive, all-wheel drive.
Yeah. So you're going to get your money back when you go to the sailboat anyway. So
yeah,
you're essentially having a savings account.
Here's the problem. I can buy a sailboat for half or less of what I for a third.
Cheap.
How much does it cost to dock it?
Well, so that's the thing is you anchor.
Yeah.
So you don't go to a marina. Like I wouldn't live in a marina every day. Right? That would be like
only when you're like restocking
Yeah.
You'd be like going to grocery store. You would
How
like
big
pop
of a
in.
sailboat?
So I could get like a 30-foot sailboat for like $30,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Like in good shape.
Decent shape. Decent enough
It's
to
got
live
all
in.
the stuff in it
Now it is a
already?
boat.
Do you already have your Coast Guard certs and all that?
So I don't. I have. You don't have to unless
really?
you're not unless you're a commercial.
Oh.
Right. So like if I just want to go live like
anything
the
but
you know
water.
like the
Yeah, I know very little.
yeah. So if you're just gonna
You
go
asked way more questions than I could have asked.
if you're just gonna go live on a boat by yourself and you're not charging people for any sort of commercial services, you don't need a thing. You could go tomorrow, buy a boat and sail it to Tahiti. Yeah. No, nobody cares. Yeah. Except the Coast Guard when they have to rescue you because you don't actually know what you're doing.
That's fair. Yeah.
So, but I
That's the one nice thing is you know how to sail. So like that's the part you don't have to.
reasonably. I do have some things to learn, although people have done it with less experience than I have. So
I would say that you know probably way more than you are letting on.
I don't know. Anyway,
I mean, your dad did the race from is it LA to
it's a transpac,
Hawaii?
so California to Hawaii. Yeah, and yeah, I've sailed quite a bit.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like you should just finance a part and get going on it.
So I will admit, because I'm totally not ashamed, but like I spent some years trying to buy my happiness, and so I am putting a ton of money and paying off my debt. Yeah, it's
super important.
It's not easy, right? And I'm not afraid to admit it because the more that you talk to people about it, the more they're like, well, yeah we're in the same place.
I'm buried in student.
Yeah, and so that's So
Me too.
I'm putting more than I would pay into like mortgage to get it just done. And so that's a big part of why I don't want to finance the van.
Sure.
Is like I just want nothing. I want no debt.
You want to be zeroed out before you start your next situation.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, then
So
you'll enjoy it more too.
Absolutely, yeah. And so that's where a lot of my like
There's different types of debt though.
I agree.
There's certain debt, like there's credit card debt where that is a hole. Like you're putting your money
Yes.
into that hole until you get it out. But then if you finance that part of the van, you have to think of that as like it's kind of a savings account because you will resell it. It's like a house, right?
Yeah.
You're paying your mortgage. As long as you're paying your mortgage kind of more efficiently, then you can save money on the interest. But the interest is the only part you lose money on.
Yeah, and I
you
agree
normally
with you.
gain more equity than you cost in interest, so it's a good
I
investment.
agree, but it'd be awfully tight for me to also be making a payment on a van.
Yeah, I mean,
along with that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I get it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So that's my.
well,
This is
she like every once
not
in a while,
anymore.
I get a text message from Al and be like, "What do you think about this rig?" And I'm like, "Fucking buy it, dude."
Yeah, just do
I'm
it.
also one of those people where like when I'm like ready to do something, it takes me about 2 days to do it, and then I'm doing it.
Then you're done. Yeah.
So like the ambulance situation, I was
Yeah.
literally running in the gym, and this chick pulled up to the window like I was running, and she was like, I like saw her go in the back, and then she like popped out inside in workout gear, and I was like, this chick is living in this ambulance.
Yeah.
And then I was like running, and I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah, like,
Came
that's
home and I was like,
sweet.
Lindsay, we're selling the trailer, we're buying an ambulance.
She was like, all right,
It's
sounds good.
great.
That's great.
Yeah.
No, I'm Mr. Research.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we should do this. Maybe we should do that.
It's really
I'm
has
getting
been
better now, though.
yeah. My delay has been my budget, and literally that
Yeah, but you
where I want to
You got to
compromise.
find the right thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So it's not like I'm looking for the perfect thing. It's just really hasn't quite. It's been a little bit of a stretch,
Yeah.
right?
I get it.
Anyway, sorry. We can cut all that bullshit out about me.
No, I think I think it's super interesting.
No, it's super interesting. Yeah.
So I guess before you get to playing,
Yeah.
like where can people listen to your music? Where can people like kind of keep in
Yeah.
touch with what you're doing with your hunting, your fishing, everything?
Hunting, fishing, Dos Hueros on Instagram at Dos Hueros Outdoors. And the bio says Zach and Hank, and we're holding bikes, so you can't miss it. And then for my music, so I'm starting my solo thing, and it's Hank Wiley Music. That's on Instagram, and then on Spotify you can listen to my old rock bands. That's Box Brothers and Motive, and there's a couple albums out in between those.
Nice.
So yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, thank
Cool.
you so much. All right. Now
Thanks, Hank.
you're going to listen to him play.
This is an original, and I'll sing it, and then I'll tell you the backstory of it. Love it. So, okay. And I checked into the Wells Motel with the BAC 1.3, waving my hands up in the air, saying, look at what I see. Is that Miss Maggie May here to stay right near next to me? I said, that's okay, boys, and that's all right. I could use a little company. Well, my daddy pulled iron, and that got me a-crying. But the pills he took ensured that he would keep his life flying. But now I pull coal from the bottom of a hole. And Daddy's meds ensure that I won't be crying. But Daddy's meds ran out, and so I hopped into his Scout. I drove 55 down Main Street. I don't know what the fuss was about, but this man in blue pulled me over too. He said, this is what we're gonna do. I'll take you to the Wells Motel. I'll check you in and get some meds too. But the Wells Motel doesn't have any meds, even though I asked politely. The bellboy looked at me and said, hey, mister, I do not think these meds will help. Why don't you sit there on that bench? I said, okay. And then I said, well, you don't understand. I just need my car so I can take Miss Maggie May and drive her far, 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 far. Thank you. That's called Wells Motel. That was, so when I was on my rotation in Ely, my buddy Zach was working construction in Wells, and he would call me for updates because he was eating at the one restaurant, at the one casino, at the one hotel in Wells. And I was like, oh, Wells Motel sounds like a good catch, hook to a song. And then, in rural Nevada, we are plagued by substance abuse. So, the daddy's meds ran out, so I hopped into his Scout. And, there's kind of a nod towards the struggle that is living in a rural town. Yeah. If you grew up in that sense, but kind of just put a fun spin on it, saying that the motel is where you need to go. So
All right, that's a wrap for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in and surviving another hour of our nonsense.
Seriously, if you loved it, hit subscribe, follow, and leave us a review.
And if you hated it, still leave a review. We need validation, good or bad.
And don't forget to check us out on Instagram @SpreadHAViK for behind-the-scenes madness, terrible ideas, and moments where we actually get it right.
And make sure you sign up for HAViK Society, where we're dropping new episodes and other stuff that makes us sound way cooler than we actually are.
Oh, and tell a friend or an enemy. Seriously, make them listen. If they hate it, just blame us.
We've got some seriously great guests lined up, so buckle up. It's going to be a ride.
Until next time, stay curious, stay uncomfortable,
And keep spreading HAViK.